कंटिन्यू विद यूनिट 12 जिसमें है क्वेरी प्रोसेसिंग एंड इवैल्यूएशन। ठीक है, इसमें है रोल ऑफ रिलेशनल अलजेब्रा क्वेरी ऑप्टिमाइजेशन यूजिंग स्टैटिस्टिक्स एंड स्टोर साइज ऑफ कॉस्ट एस्टिमेशन एंड कॉस्ट ऑफ सिलेक्शन ऑपरेशन, फाइल स्कैन, इंडेक्स सॉर्टिंग, जॉइन ऑपरेशन, मर्ज जॉइन, हैश जॉइन एंड ये कुछ टॉपिक्स हैं। ठीक है, इसको क्विकली कंटिन्यू करके एंड करते हैं। Okay, query processing and evaluation. SQL structured query language is a major factor behind the success of relational database system. SQL allows users to write queries in a language close to English without specifying how the query should be executed. The DBMS is responsible for efficiently evaluating the query. The unit focus on principle of query evaluation, understanding how query is processed. Cost of query evaluation determines the process of time on CPU. Evaluation: the join queries efficiently combine data from multiple tables. Query evaluation plan strategies chosen by DBMS. Role of strategy in query evaluation: query optimization technique to select the most efficient. By the end, this unit is to understand how SQL queries are processed, optimized, and executed by the DBMS to ensure efficient retrieval of data. Role of relational algebra in query optimization. Relational algebra provide a formal way to express query. A single can have many equivalent relational algebra expression. Okay. Query optimization. The DBMS selects the evaluation plan with the lowest cost. Cost estimation uses statistics from the database catalog such as number of tuples in each relation's tuple size, number of distinct values for attributes. Using statics and store size of cost estimation. Query estimation is usually measured as total. Okay, query cost is usually measured as a total elapsed time of answering of query. Main attribute to query cost: disk access time, CPU time, data communication time over network. Statistics of cost estimation: number of records, number of disk block, number of attributes, number of these कुछ है. Cost of selection operation में selection retrieves records that satisfy a condition. Its cost depends on file scan and index scan method. File scan the file sequentially to find matching records. Linear search: check all block and all record. Binary search applicable when the file is ordered or selection in a equality comparison. Index scan uses this index on the search attribute to reduce cost. ठीक है, इंडेक्स के अंदर अलग अलग इंडेक्सेस है, जैसे प्राइमरी इंडेक्स, हैश इंडेक्स, सेकेंडरी इंडेक्स, काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. Complex selection in query processing. Conjunction and condition. Single index available uses an index in one attribute to fetch candidate tuples. Disjunction. ओके कुछ है, ये है. ओके, सॉर्टिंग का देखते हैं. कॉस्ट ऑफ सॉर्टिंग. सॉर्टिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड व्हेन क्वेरी इज नीडेड ऑर्डर result. The cost depends on method. Using a existing ordered index. Cost of sorting क्या है? Sorting is required when query is needed require ordered result. Sorting order में डाल देता है, ठीक है, order में. The cost depends on the method used. Use an existing ordered index. B trees index on the attribute. Building an index and then reading. Create an index and attribute if none exist. In memory sorting, use algorithm like quick sort. External sort merge require when relation does not fit in memory. Cost of join operation. A join combines tuples from two relations based on the condition. The cost depends on the join algorithm. Nested loop join. For each tuple in relation R, scan the tuple in relation S to find matches. Block nested loop join idea: instead of scanning one tuple at a time, need block of tuple from R and scan S. Cost: number of blocks. ठीक है, यहाँ पे देख लेते हैं. नेस्टेड लूप जॉइन जो है सिंपल बट स्लो. मर्ज जॉइन, हैश जॉइन फास्ट फॉर लार्ज डेटा सेट एंड इंडेक्स नेस्टेड बेस्ट इफ एन इंडेक्स exists. The other operations in query processing. Duplicate elimination. गोल क्या रहता है? Remove repeated tuples from a result sets. Method: sort tuples, duplicate become adjacent, remove easily, has tuples, duplicate fall into the bucket. Projection: select specific attribute and implementation: apply projection on each tuple, then remove duplicates using sorting and hashing. Aggregate function में count, sum, average, these comes inside this. Set operation: union, intersection and difference. Representation and evaluation of query expression. Representing SQL queries. SQL queries can be translated into relational algebra explanation. Select enrollment, name, subject, grade from M, ऐसा करके. Method for evaluating a query tree. इसमें कुछ है मेटलाइजेशन प्रोसेस बता रहा है. पाइपिंग, तो पाइपिंग देख लेते हैं. टपल्स फ्लो डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द ऑपरेशन टू द नेक्स्ट विदाउट स्टार्टिंग इंटरमीडिएट रिजल्ट. Creation of query evaluation plans. The goal of query evaluation plan is to execute a query in the most cost efficient way. Steps in generating query evaluation plans: generate logically expression, generate alternative query plans, choose the cheapest plan. Views and query processing. A view is essential a saved query. It can either be virtual or materialized. Views and query processing में क्या है? A view is essentially a saved query. It can either be virtual or materialized view. Okay, materialized view में देख लेते हैं. A materialized view is a view whose results are computed and stored on the disk. A materialized view is a view whose results are computed and stored in the disk. Advantages क्या है? Save recomputation effect if the view is used frequently. Can improve query performance significantly. Maintenance का क्या है? Recomputation recompute the entire view whether underlying data changes. Incremental view maintains update only the affected part of the view. Okay. Materialized views and query optimization. Queries can be rewritten to use materialized views for efficiently. Key points for exam, like materialized views store the result. Virtual views compute on the fly. Using materialized views can save time for expensive joint and aggregation. The query optimizer decide whether to use a materialized view based on the cost comparison. Trigger or incremental updates help maintain the consistency of materialized view. So इसमें mostly views and query language के बारे में क्या बोल रहा है? View is essentially saved query if it can either be virtual or materialized. ठीक है, this is all about unit query processing and evaluation, unit 12. ठीक है, query processing unit 12.